Sorry I was late. I was too busy sweeping. Let's talk some more basketball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and you see that smile on my face. A 4-0 sweep yesterday. Man, that felt good. That's for sure. We'll go over the recap in just a little bit. If you see that the lighting is a little different, I had a light go out on me right before we started recording, so I apologize. Bear with me. We'll get the lighting fixed hopefully here in the next couple days. But we are 2 days away now from MLB opening day, and I cannot freaking wait. That's right. We're going to have a video out for the opening day best bets, assuming the weather permits, because we are apparently having a storm like the night before. So we'll see. But either way, as you guys know, any graphics you see in this video are from an app called OUTLIER. It is the best betting research tool on the market today. I mentioned it many times. I use it every single day, and it's also got MLB, so it's going to be great for this upcoming season. If you guys want to try it out, click the link below. You get a 7-day free trial. It's in the description. You got nothing to lose. Just go play around with it and try to get some winners. But here we go. It's dad joke time. So here we go. We got an okay one. I'm not going to say this is great. I feel like people these days are just too judgmental. I can tell just by looking at them. That's all I got for you today. All right, in this video, we're going to recap that beautiful 4-0 sweep yesterday, and then we're going to talk injury report and teams on a back-to-back like we always do, and then defenses versus the shooting guard position, as well as on a platter. That's right, talk the 20 highest potential assist leaders in the last so many games, and then, of course, we'll finish it with the best bets and the bets recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we're on our way to 40,000 subscribers. Cannot thank you guys enough for the support. Really appreciate it. But let's get into it. And that means it's recap time. All right, there it is. The beautiful 4 green check marks. Luka over 27.5 points was a beauty. He had 21 at halftime, but honestly, he didn't have a good shooting night at all. Got a lot of free throws. He ended with 32, I believe. They actually lost to Orlando, but got the job done. Halliburton double-double. This one was a little sweaty because it became a blowout. Luckily, Minnesota closed the gap a little in the fourth quarter, enough for Halliburton to come in, play, get 2 more dimes to get 11, and he got the job done. Easily 10-plus points. Then Ryan Dunn, over 8.5 points, was the legendary cash of the night. If you were following this late at night, 0 points and 1 shot attempt at halftime. 1 single shot attempt. And I said on X, I need a miracle for this sweep. I need him to clutch up, and he sure enough does. I don't know what he ended with. I think at one point he had 11 points, but he got the job done in the second half. And then Kobe White, 20-plus points, and Justin Edwards, 15-plus points. This was easy. Justin Edwards, I mentioned this as a lean in the video yesterday. I took higher for Edwards because Quentin Grimes went out, so I was still willing to take it. Kobe White scored like almost 40 tonight. I have no idea what Edwards ended up with, but it was a very easy early cash on that one as well. So there it is. No unders, and we went 4-0, which is surprising. But overall record now 276 and 225. We are now up right around 27 units. Can we keep this rolling and hit that 30-unit mark? But that's what we got for the recap. Now let's talk the injury report. All right, we got an 8-game slate. We start with the Spurs at the Pistons. Cade Cunningham, Tim Hardaway Jr., both questionable to play, and then Stephon Castle also questionable. Some big pieces there of injury news. Magic at Hornets, Cole Anthony, and Josh Okogie questionable. How about those two? I had to mention Okogie for the first time this year. Mavericks at Knicks. Anthony Davis, I'm going to say he's questionable the night before just because he just played his first game yesterday. Will they play him on a second night of a back-to-back? I don't know. I put him up there just in case. Brunson and McBride both still out. Mitchell Robinson for the Knicks is questionable. Warriors at Heat. How about this one? Jimmy Butler back to Miami. Steph Curry and Duncan Robinson both questionable. I think Steph plays here, but that's what we got there. Hawks at Rockets. As of right now, I see nothing. It's surprising to me. Grizzlies at Jazz. John Morant and Lauri Markkanen both questionable. John Collins is out. It's the Utah Jazz, so by this time tomorrow, no one could have played. Who knows? Thunder at Kings. Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, both questionable. Malik Monk and Domantas Sabonis are questionable. As I'm losing my voice, 2 main pieces on both teams. So obviously big news there. Cavaliers at Blazers. Jeremy Grant questionable, and then Donovan Mitchell will be out for the Cavaliers. Now, teams on a back-to-back today, only 3 of them. Magic, Mavericks, and Kings, and then there's the record ATS. Against the spread on 0 days rest. Magic 6-5, Mavs 8-3, and then the Kings 3-11 ATS, the 3rd worst record in the NBA. So that's what we got for the injury report. Now let's talk the shooting guard position. All right, we start with the defenses giving up the most points to the shooting guard position. And I've been getting comments. There's a lot of winners that people have had just from these research slides. So hopefully you guys are using this as a part of your handicap. Obviously, not the only reason you make a bet, but Hawks giving up 27.7 points per game to shooting guard, facing Jalen Green, who's averaging 20.7. Then Jazz 25.8 giving up, facing Desmond Bane 21.3. Obviously, the John Morant news will be huge for Desmond Bane as well. But there's all the rest of them. All these stats are in the last 30 days. If it's in green, that team or player is playing today. Now let's move over to the rebounds, and we got two more matchups. The Heat facing B Pods. That's right. He's averaging 6.2 rebounds per game, and the Heat giving up 8 to the shooting guard position. Then Hawks 7.5 facing Jalen Green, yet again 5.7 rebounds per game. Now let's head over to the assists. And we got one matchup: the Jazz facing Desmond Bane, yet again 5.8 dimes per game. Again, that matters if John Morant plays or not. And then Jazz 6.1 given up. And there's all the rest of the teams and the players. So take some screenshots. Hopefully these help you out if you're looking at some overs. Now let's look at the toughest shooting guard matchups, and we have a lot in green. A lot of the teams that are good against shooting guards are playing today. Blazers, Rockets, and Warriors, top 3 in points per game allowed to the shooting guard position. And then fewest rebounds, Cavaliers, Warriors, and Kings. As you see, the Warriors are top 3 in those two categories, and then also top 5 in fewest assists allowed to shooting guards. So they're top 5 in all of these. Pistons and Hornets giving up the fewest assists to that shooting guard position. And that's what we got for all the research for the shooting guards. Again, if you're new to the channel, we do a new position every day, starting with point guards on Monday, all the way to the centers on Friday. But before we get to those best bets, let's talk what's on a platter. All right, we try to do this once a week. These are the top 20 potential assist players in the NBA. This is a stat we go off of when we're looking at assists, overs, unders, things like that. You know, you assume a guy's going to get around 50 to 60% of his potential assists and convert those into real assists. But like we talked about yesterday, Tyrese Halliburton, 20 potential assists, the most in the NBA. This is all the last 7 games. He is getting 11.8 of those into actual assists. Anyone who played less than those 7 games, as you can see, Tyrese Halliburton 4 games, and so on and so on. We'll mention it too. But Trae Young, no surprise there. How about Jimmy Butler? 16.9 potential assists, 8.6 actual assists per game. Not too bad, not too shabby. Kind of a surprise when I saw that. I knew he was passing the ball a lot more, but and then over there on the right side, obviously you got Dame Lillard over there, 13.8 with 7 dimes. He's only played 5 games though. Josh Giddey, who's been an absolute monster lately, getting a high percentage of his assists. And then down to Emmanuel Quickly, who's actually not been getting that high of an assist count, at least conversion rate, 12.5 potentials to 6.5 regular, all the way down to Dyson Daniels with 11 and 5.7 actual assists. So again, these are just some more stats. Hopefully this helps you out a little bit, lets you guys know who's been passing the ball a lot more lately and things like that. So now that's what we got for all the research help. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to Portland, Oregon, where the Blazers host the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs minus 6.5. Total in this one is 231. If you fast forward through my intro and you're wondering why it looks different, by the way, this lighting is throwing me off a little bit. We had a light break right before, but hopefully it still looks decent. But here we go. Darius Garland over 22.5 points. This is a 1-unit play. I got this at minus 114 on FanDuel. I'm going to be honest, I'm surprised that it's not 23.5 or 24.5 because the big news, like we just talked about, Donovan Mitchell is out for this game. In the 6 games, Garland has played without Donovan Mitchell. As you can see by this outlier screenshot, he's over in 4 of 6 games, averaging 25.5 points per game. Now, one of those 6 games was against his Portland team where he went under, one of the 2 unders, but it wasn't because he didn't get his shot. He had 16 shots. He went 4 of 16. He just could not make anything. I mean, absolutely anything. But speaking of volume, which is obviously what we like to see here, he's averaging 19 field goal attempts per game in those 6 games without Donovan Mitchell, averaging just 15 in games with Mitchell. So we're talking 4 more shots per game, averaging 30 minutes per game with Mitchell, 34 minutes per game without Mitchell. So we're talking 4 more shots per game, 4 more minutes per game. The usage is going to be pretty high here. And if you just look at the matchup, it's a pretty average matchup overall. We'll talk about it, obviously, still. Last 30 days, Blazers giving up the 13th most points per game to point guards. Average also when it comes to made 3-pointers allowed to point guards. In the last 10 games, they've given up the 14th highest frequency of shots within 10 feet. Garland has a high 34.2% frequency on that shot type. As you guys know, he can attack the rim. So overall, it's going to be about Minutes and volume, I'm expecting 18 to 22 shots here from him at least. So, and I'm expecting a pretty competitive game. I actually like the Blazers against the spread here. I know, shocker, we've taken them a lot this year, but we just need Garland to knock down some shots. The volume will be there. Hopefully, we get a pretty competitive game, especially without Mitchell. So, give me that green stuff that you hang up during Christmas for over 22.5 points as my first best bet. All right, the second one takes us out to Charlotte, North Carolina, where the Hornets host the Orlando Magic. Magic -5 total in this one is a low 212. I got a player prop. Hold your breath, plug your nose. Give me LaMelo freaking Ball over 22.5 points, -108 on FanDuel. It's a half unit play here. Why is it a half unit play? It's LaMelo Ball. That's enough said. We're going to run back this same system we just had with Luka yesterday. It is point guards versus the Orlando Magic. But let's talk LaMelo first. Last 10 games, he's over in 5 of the last 10, averaging 21.2 points per game. So his average is right around where this line is. He's taken, the volume is still there. So the problem, it's not that he's dropping because of volume. He's taken 18, 23, and 19 field goal attempts in the last 3 games, 18 plus field goal attempts in 5 of the last 6. I mean, we're pretty much locked into at least 18 field goal attempts. Still playing big minutes, averaging 31.4 per game in the last 10 games, which is something you like to see, especially with a tanking team. You never know, where he's going to play or how much. For LaMelo, though, he's either going to rest or he's just going to play his full minutes. So matchup, like I said yesterday for the Orlando Magic. Magic giving up the most points per game to the point guard position in the last 30 days, all while playing at a very slow pace. They don't give up assists. They don't give up open shots. If you haven't watched them play, they just allow the point guard to do work because they don't leave them. They don't leave spot up shooters. They don't leave any of that kind of stuff to make easy assists. That's why you always see the Magic on the list for fewest assists allowed. They are going to allow him to do work. Hopefully he can make some shots. They also struggle versus pick and roll ball handlers like we talked about as well. So if you don't know LaMelo Ball, he has never seen a shot he didn't like. I mean, let's face it. The big question here is, will he actually make his shots? He has 9 for his last 28 from deep. Not great, but also means he's due. He made 7 of 11 4 games ago, just to give you a glimmer of hope for LaMelo. But he is one of the only 33% three-ball shooters in the NBA that will attempt 11 per game because he is a very inefficient scorer and he does not care. He will chuck it up. And I don't care if he shoots 100 times and only makes 15 of them. I just need him to go over this one. So the more volume, the better, obviously, which is what we're going to get here. When we get a line, like I said, around a guy's average here in the last 10 games, in the best matchup possible when it comes to giving up points to that point guard and the main ball handler, I got to take it. So give me LiAngelo Ball's brother over 22.5 points as my second best bet. All right, this third one takes us out to Miami, Florida, where the Heat hosts the Golden State Warriors. Warriors -5. Total in this one is 218. This one's going to be kind of short and simple for me. I like this over. It's not Butler. Give me Andrew Wiggins over 21.5 points, -105 on DraftKings. This can be a half unit play for me here as well. Forget the Jimmy Butler revenge game. It is Wiggins' revenge game. That's right. Wiggins in his last 5 games, you may not know this, he's been quietly dominating. As you can see by this outlier screenshot, how about over in 4 of the last 5, coming off games of 30 and 42 points. Absolutely en fuego, averaging 32 minutes per game in the last 5, which is what you want to see with him. In the last 30 days, the Warriors for this matchup, they've given up the 14th most points per game to the small forward. So again, it's not a huge matchup where the it's some great matchup or anything. We know the Warriors can play some defense, but Wiggins is going to come out fired up, and that's a big part of this handicap. Not to mention, obviously, he's been on a roll and the volume we like to see. So to me, this is about 2 things. The minutes are going up and up. He has 35 or more minutes in 3 of his last 5 games. I can't imagine a revenge game when he's been playing this well, it's going to be less. So I'm pretty confident he's probably going to play 35 or more minutes again. The volume is going up and up and up. In the last 4 non-blowout games, he is averaging 18 field goal attempts per game. You give me 18 field goal attempts per game, I like my chances to just go over this line. And then the third one, revenge. You see this all the time with players playing their old team. He's going to be locked in. He's going to come out aggressive. Usually this is a game where you can pretty much count on a guy not being passive. He's going to come out and want to attack, want to score, want to hit some threes. The question here is, can he just knock down his shots? But I think because the volume is going to be so high and the minutes and everything, he just needs like an average shooting night to go over this. So I think this is just a little bit too low of a line here. So I am going to take it. Again, it's not just the revenge factor. It's also how he's playing and how much he's been playing as well lately. So let's get wiggy with it and take him over 21.5 points. That is my third and final best bet on the video. Again, any added plays will be in the pinned comments below on X and on Discord. But before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. The three best bets so far. We got three overs again. That was not my goal. We got to mix in some unders, but I love these bets. Give me Darius Garland over 22.5 points, 1 unit play. LaMelo Ball over 22.5 points as well. That is a half-unit play. And then Andrew Wiggins over 21.5 points. That is a half-unit play as well. We got 3 points props. We need some guys to make some shots. That's what we need. So thank you guys for watching. As always, hit that like button if you haven't already. I really appreciate it as we get closer and closer to MLB season as well. But let's stay hot. Let's try to get another sweep. I appreciate all the support. Hope you guys all have a great Tuesday, and we'll talk to you soon.